it going, guys and gals? Welcome back to Let's Play Medieval 2 Total War, the English campaign. I'm just going to double check my audio options real quick to make sure that they saved. Looks like they did. I'm going to turn the master volume down just a little bit more just to ensure that the audio is low enough. Because I am using this shitty microphone still, and I'm worried that everything's going to overlap my narration here, because I am recording this as I am playing. So, if you recall, in our last video, we started off the English short campaign. Our objective is to take out Scotland and to take out France. England has just recently broken free of the French monarchy. We're forming our own nation, drawing our borders through blood and thunder, as any true warrior society would. The Scots up here don't appear to be doing much. They only hold the city of Edinburgh, so before we go sallying forth and engaging the Scots, we really need to think about securing our borders. Our objective for this session is to secure these lands right here of Conquerors and Dublin. They must fall to us now. We're going to leave our spy where he is. We want to see what they're doing with Iverness. York is good for the moment. They are enforced with a good bit of archers and spearmen, strong enough force to hold off anything that the Scots could throw at us. We're pretty much raising the quality of life of the people of York as it is right now. I'm trying to get all this crap off the screen there. So yeah, we've liberated York from its rulers, brought them into the fold of the English Empire. We're now building roads, planting crops, bringing defenses to the town, bringing them into a modern society. The King of England, William the Conqueror down here, residing in London. He just recently dispatched a rebel force that mustered outside the gates of the city. Some of the populace clearly not pleased with William's leadership and his way of doing things. They were quickly brought down by a combined force of William and his spearmen and Mr. Walter up here, Walter of Bompton, who has married into the family. His cavalry force, along with the king, caught the enemy and annihilated them. With that over and done with now, the people of England can turn their attention to Conquerors. Many diplomats have been sent to the west to try and reason with the rulers of that city to bring them into the fold. We've attempted trade agreements, all sorts of things to convince them that joining the greater part of the continent, the greater part of the English Empire, was the right and proper choice for all, for the benefit of all. But the people of Wales strictly holding true to whatever beliefs these backwards people have and refusing to join our nation, so they must be brought under the flag of England by force. Down here in Caen, things are looking quite interesting. Robert, one of the sons of the king, I can move him back to the city, has pretty much gone off on his own. He feels unappreciated. He's a very fair ruler. He is iron-fisted, though. Don't cross the man. He's 27 years old. I don't believe he has any children or anything. No, he's not married. No children. Feeling quite unappreciated. His sister, Cecilia, has been married off to Walter, so now there's another potential heir for the throne. He is next in line after Prince Rufus, who is his older brother. Prince Rufus is the prince. He is unmarried as well. So this is potentially another rival for the crown. He has a younger brother, Henry. He's 15 right now. He'll be coming of age very soon. So he's sort of the middle child. Feels unappreciated. Now he has a much older brother-in-law to possibly wonder about what his motives are in joining the royal family. So he feels unappreciated. He feels like he's being misused. He feels like he's been sent off to fight the war in France and pretty much being left to die. So if he's going to be left to die. If he's going to be sent off to fight a war, by gods, he's going to fight a war. Against his father's wishes, he's sent out and sacked the city of Reims. Forgive my pronunciation. I'm not sure how to pronounce a good bit of these towns here, especially once we start heading off into Germany and Hungary. But set off, sacked the town of Reims, brought it into the fold of the English Empire, earning himself some glory and some fame and some dread. With those moves made now, we need to worry about what France is doing. They have a large force building down here just outside of Paris, whether that's for defensive reasons, now that they've seen what Robert is capable of doing. Maybe they're trying to bolster their defenses along the border, or maybe that is an invasion force that is being mustered to attack Caen now that it is without its ruler. It is heavily defended. We have some very well armored spearmen and a unit of cavalry here, and we're starting to build peasant archers as well. So Caen is by far not defenseless. And again, Reims being brought into the English Empire is being modernized as well, planting crops, building roads, overall improving the quality of life for these poor people. So, now that we've seen everything that we need to do, everything that's been accomplished in the previous episode, the stage has been set, we can begin to think about what we're going to do in this turn. As I've stated, overall, our objectives right now is to capture these two rebel settlements up here, bring them into the fold, and just kind of test the water with France, see what they're doing here. We need to start mustering forces down here to be ready for whatever France, excuse me, to be ready against whatever France is going to throw at us. So, let's look at construction to start with. Look at our pot. We have a projected profit total of 1,390 florins per turn, so we have a little bit of money to play with. We need to think about our construction, so let's go up here to London. We're building a market. That's going to improve our trade. Nottingham, we can build something. We can retrain some guys as well. These guys will get their leather armor. We can build a port that will increase our trade. We do have 2 ports already. We're not trading with that many people yet, so we don't necessarily need to build a port. We need to start thinking about building our military might so that when we go to take Conquerors and Dublin, we will have very strong and very capable force to handle that task. And then, of course, once the Scots finally start to muster the strength to launch their forces down into our empire, we want to be able to have a professional army to deal with them. So a garrison quarters will allow us to build levy spearmen, which is a little bit better quality spearmen. Actually, it's pretty much the same to what we have now. Spear Militia. Rat Pack is now playing Men of War Assault Squad 2. You guys should really go check out his channel. He's the guy that really got me into doing YouTube videos, especially Wargame Air Land Battle. Go check out that guy's channel. Total defense of 8 and attack of 5. So garrison quarters. Shit, where is it? Five and 7, yeah. So pretty much the same, but it allows to recruit more of them. So we'll go ahead and for now we'll build a practice range to have better archers. York, we're already building roads and farms. Down here in Caen, go ahead and save our money. We have spearmen, we're building archers, we don't need more cavalry. Could build more farms. Go ahead and do that. We'll build better farms down here in Caen. That'll increase our I keep saying increase. I really don't like that band. That'll increase our food production in Caen to better feed our armies. Alright, so not much more to be done. Let's check and see where our diplomat is. He's over here heading up to try and strike some trade agreements with the people of the Danes, I believe that is. Let's go ahead and end the turn. And let's press spacebar to speed up all this junk. So their advanced force pulling back out of Caen. Then maybe that was some kind of well armed scouting force that was sent into Khan to figure out what to probe our defenses. So here we found the Danish capital of Hamburg, and now we know where that is. And we're now losing money. Oh dear. Henry has come of age. We've built some dirt roads in York, and a bunch of guys have been retrained and rearmed. Cool. York now, we can go ahead and build a leather tanner to upgrade the armor of all the soldiers garrisoned there. We're now building farms and rains. We can bring Robert back to the city now. That'll increase our trade a little bit. Just going to move this fleet over here to keep an eye on these rebel settlements to see what they're doing. Now that Henry's of age, we can garrison him somewhere. Let's have Prince Rufus head. Let's just reposition our family here for a minute, because Rufus is on the front lines. Let's bring him back to Nottingham. Bring this guy who's married into the family. Send him up north to defend against the Scots. The king has decided to keep his family closer to home, and to allow this older, more experienced, we'll say. No, not more experienced, but aspiring commander, confident defender. Steves with anger. So this guy here, he is... And by the way, just in case you haven't picked up on it, I love making up my own little story to medieval and games like these. There's so much, to me, it seems like there's so much just untold backstory behind all this. I mean, this is pretty much, this is medieval society. There was all sorts of political intrigue and scheming and things like that that made up a lot of how things went down back then, so as much as it is today, really. So making up my own little story as I go along through this is something that keeps it fresh and keeps it fun for me. So, and it's always good to tell a good story. So Prince Rufus is apparently a very fucking angry guy, and he's very swift to judge, and he has silly beliefs. So although he is a good commander, he is quite odd and quite just maybe his father doesn't really. His father is 54, and he's very intelligent, religious-minded. He's cruel, a very cruel leader. So he's a very cruel, very religious man. He has a very angry and very odd son that he might not be in very strong favor with his father. Bringing him back to Nottingham to oversee the recruitment of the army, it might be a more prudent choice. And bringing this religiously active, he has royal ties now, he's loyal, he has silly beliefs as well, but nevertheless he is religiously active. So maybe William the Conqueror feels that his new son-in-law Walter is more competent. He's 49, closer to age than William, 54. Maybe they grew up together. Maybe this is someone that William knew for quite a long time, and he married him off to his daughter. Maybe that is where all this promotion and being adopted into the family and all that, maybe that has a part to play in all this. Nevertheless, bringing him up to York to guard against the Scots, and bringing his odd, ill-tempered son closer to home so that he will have a closer eye on him. Enough of that. Down here, Robert needs to start making plans. He's 28 years old, iron-fisted. The French have launched a scout force into his lands to spy on his castle. Something must be done about that. Heavy cavalry. We're going to have a strong cavalry force to make up the majority of his army. We'll go ahead and hold off on just that many cavalrymen yet because we don't want to overburden our budget here. That diplomat up there is doing his thing. Over here, we can't build anything yet. I need another diplomat. So I need to go south and start making contact with the Spanish, the Portuguese, and the Moors. So alright, nothing much else that we can do for this turn. Up here we are recruiting archers. We have enough spearmen spread around to be able to launch the invasion of Canaveron. Can't build any spies, so let's go ahead and end the turn. And here comes another frickin' merchant to try and take over my merchant's business. He will probably succeed. Yep, damn it. That's pretty much the everyday life of a merchant in this game. You're built, you park yourself on a resource for 2 turns, then you get taken over. Damn shame. Our farms have now been completed down in Rains in the dead of winter. War has been declared between the Byzantine Empire and Venice. That's interesting. Those two guys aren't even really... Well, I guess they are close to each other. Down here, the Venetians operating out of this region right here, they own probably all that territory by now. The Byzantine Empire here in Constantinople owns probably most of this by now, so it's about time they start bumping shoulders in that little region right there. So what to do down here? We need to guard against the French. Robert is probably pretty damn mad by this point that the French dared trespass into his land. Roads are now being built. We can construct a town watch after that, so that Rains, whatever, will be able to fend for itself for the most part. Up here in York, the leather tanner is under construction. The archery range will be completed next turn in Nottingham. Here in London, we can work on a leather tanner. And young Henry. So people, he has dread. This man's father was feared enough that the people expect the same out of him. Henry here, the spitting image of his dad. People are afraid of him. Religiously proper, iron-fisted. He is a promising strategist, a promising commander. He's very swift to judge. He's honest, and he fucking hates the Scots. That's awesome. We'll send him up north as well. +1 command when fighting against the Scots. That's awesome. Learning a thing or two from his dad. Park him in Nottingham for the moment. Need to build more archers. York, we can't construct anything just yet. And build a merchant. We can put a merchant in one of these resources up here to make up for our loss down here in the southern region. Our diplomat now can make contact with the Danish. Same as usual, trade rights, map information. Map information, it's generous.
We have no complaints with this plan.
Excellent. That's a 500 florin bonus.
We thank you.
And we'll keep him going. He'll I have trade agreements with the Germans, but or the Holy Romans, whatever, but I don't have any map information on them yet, so we'll keep him going east, make contact with the Polish.
Tomorrow's journey planned out, sire.
And with that, I believe that will conclude the turn. Sorry for the lack of action here, folks. Just a lot of strategy and a lot of intrigue. Looks like the French are fighting rebels of their own, and we have another force coming into our territory down here. Henry has been betrothed to whoever in the world that is. Langliva King. I have no idea what nation she belongs to. Who is making this proposal? Where is there a princess? I don't know. I'm trying to look over here on the map to see where there's a princess coming at me, but I don't see a princess anywhere. Well, the boy's 15, and, you know, YOLO. Take Rebel Settlement, Canaveron. We have 15 turns to do that. Well, yeah, I'll be rewarded with some of the best units currently available. Excellent. Hey, we're on the map. Our military is ranked good. We are the strongest faction now. That's cool. Construction report. Our leather tanner's been finished in York. We can retrain our men here, give them some better armor. And we'll start constructing a town watch there as well. Our merchant has been finished down in London. And what do we have to put him on? There's some sheep up here. It'll give us 12 florins a turn. This dye will give us 8. More sheep over here, 12. Dye over here, worth 8. There's more sheep, 6. Coal, worth 8. More coal, 8, 8. 10. We'll go ahead with this wool right here. 12 florins a turn. It's pretty cool. Who the hell did Henry marry? So now young Henry has a young bride. Yangliva, she's 10 years... Yangliva. 10 years older than him. You go, boy. Getting himself a nice little cougar. Doesn't really say what the hell nation she came from. Maybe she's English as well. Spitting image of his mother. That's kind of weird. But nevertheless, Henry, the youngest now, is married. The 2 oldest sons, unmarried. Rufus, 31, he's getting up there in age for the people of this time period. Robert, 29, they need to really start thinking about getting themselves a bride if they have any hope of keeping their lineage secure. Henry will bring him up here to York with his bastard brother Walter. Walter, I think, will have him mentor his young son, or his young son-in-law for a while, and then for about a year or two, and then once Henry becomes a couple years older and able to take over the reins of governorship, we'll leave York in the hands of Henry and his beautiful bride. Prince Rufus, what to do about him? What to do about him? He'll stay there for now, I guess, and oversee the recruitment. We have longbowmen we can start recruiting now. Go ahead and we need to start filling our coffers more, so let's go ahead and build that port. That'll allow us to trade easier with the Danes right over here.
Yes, my lord.
We gotta find these Polish
Without
people. They're around here
question,
somewhere. Got another strong French force mustering down here on our borders. Maybe they're going up here to Bruges, but they are on the road to Caen. And there was another small French force down here in the woods somewhere, taking advantage of our lack of ability to safely protect our borders here. Maybe we should think about constructing a fort in the clearing down there to help keep the French at bay. We have a small little rebel force that's built up down here. We should do something about that.
My lord. As you wish, sire. Order. Yes, sire.
There you.
As you wish, sire.
Some bandits fleeing from the French, maybe. 3 units of spearmen. Let's run them down. Actually, let's save in case the game crashes. And as I hit this attack button, hit that like button finally for hit that like button for some bloodshed finally. Excuse me. However long it's been into the video, we're finally getting to some good old-fashioned blood and guts. I gotta remember the controls. God. Alright, so we'll have the mercenaries take up the left flank. The strong unit of spearmen over here will take up our right flank. And we'll have the veterans. Actually, they're not the only unit of veterans, but we'll have a thin center. That'll be Unit 1. Our archers turn skirmish mode off, will stay where they are, and our commander will stay in the back. Go get them, boys. Show these rebel dogs what it means to trespass in good, honest English land. Our commander will go up here to the ridge line, be able to effectively flank them. Come on, get within range. There we go. Archers preparing now. Yep, they're already firing on the rebels. Rebels have no ranged ability at all, so... Our line's kind of crooked here. I don't like it. Extend our battle line up a little bit. Make sure they don't get any ideas about trying to overlap me. You see the number of men that's fallen already to those archers. Looks like they hesitating a little bit, thinking twice about engaging my spearmen. And they really should think twice about engaging my spearmen. All my units are veterans. They've fought in battles before. This isn't their first shindig. Let's go ahead and cut the archers off. My thin center being hit by that very strong unit of spearmen, but here comes my general now, hitting them in the flank. That unit has broken. They've effectively annihilated that entire unit, and that's it.
The enemy army flees the field.
Continue.
Pursue and run
them down. Don't want a single man left. Plus, when you do full-on routes like this where you murder every single last fleeing man, it is just buku free experience for whatever unit is doing their pursuing, because they're getting so many kills. As you can see, this unit of mailed knights has not lost a single knight, and they've killed so many men they've already ranked up. They're now veterans as well. The enemy general has fallen. Lost a few spearmen there. A couple of them spearmen will heal and rejoin the ranks, but for the most part, I only lost 10% of my force, so not bad. As the mailed knights finish running down the last of these rebel spearmen. Let's say they're brigands, is that what that says? Yeah, rebels, brigands. So yeah, just a rebel force, French soldiers that have defected, or town militias or whatever. A gang of outlaws, you know, what have you. Doesn't really matter what they are. They are a threat to our citizens. They prey upon the land, taking what they will, when they will, and such brigandry will not be tolerated in the English Empire. I believe that's the last of them.
All of Christendom will be awed by the victory we have won here today.
They're not even tired. Only lost 29 men. Oh, didn't heal very many of those casualties. It's alright though. Got 150 prisoners off of that. Jesus. Oh well. To the work camps with you.
The day is ours, sire.
Captain Leonard earning himself a nice, well-deserved victory there.
As you wish.
Proving to his Lord Robert that he is capable of defending the town of Rains and its lands. We'll throw him in the ambush.
Your command. Yes, sire.
Or just get him as close to Rains as possible. We'll go ahead and keep that unit of cavalry there. Let's go ahead and build another unit of peasant archers down here in Con. because I'm very scared about what that French force's intentions are.
Your orders, sire.
And next turn, losing money now. All this recruitment. There's our first glimpse of the Holy Romans now, moving up to try and take one of those independent states up there. The Byzantines are now the strongest faction. Our leather tanner's been completed in London. And some guys have been retrained. Alright. So now they have leather armor on the way. Antwerp's now coming across their first brush with the Germans. Let's go ahead and so we got 2 units of archers. Let's build 2 more. Just want to make sure we have plenty of ranged defense when the French finally hit our walls. Now up here in York, we need to start thinking about our invasion of Canaveron. We have plenty of archers and cavalry.
Sire.
Go ahead and move them out.
As you wish. We'll make camp here, sire.
Walter will head
Hail,
down.
my king. Assembling a mighty host of your troops, sire.
Henry's 17 still, but that's alright. We need to speed
Hail,
this up
my
a little
king.
bit.
Orders, sire.
Spear militia will head out as well.
Combining forces,
So we got
sire.
a pretty sizable force. Good units of good suppressive fire with the archers. We have some hard-hitting cavalry, 3 units of spearmen, and we can recruit some of these Welsh on the way there. Have the local populace join us and fight alongside. Looks like not all of the people of Wales are opposed to joining the English Empire. For a price, that is.
Ready, sire.
Let's go ahead and move this fleet up a little bit, see what we can see up here. We've got some rebels now blockading, some pirates blockading the Danes in their own port. That's interesting.
Your Majesty.
Move the diplomat.
Yes, sire.
It was this Danish cardinal, a rebel settlement.
Without question, sire. Tomorrow's journey planned out, sire.
Over here, there
Tomorrow's
should
journey
be some
planned
Polish.
out, sire.
Down here in France, we lost. Oh, that big, sizable force moved back to Reims. Reims. Jesus, we got a Reims and a Reims now. Jesus Christ, moving that guy over to Reims. So maybe they're seeing that we are building up here in Caen as well, pulling that force back. It's a big elaborate game of chess. Now, where did that force go now? The Scots, no movement out of the Scots this entire time. Town watches have been completed, ports have been completed. So our town militia has been retrained, getting better equipment. Here in Nottingham, let's just go ahead and build a chapel. It'll help our overall happiness there. I'm losing money. Only don't have very much money to work with here. Just checking everything right now. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to have to halt our recruitment and our construction for a while until our budget balances out here. We do have this big, large army out in the field. Army upkeep 6,381 florins per turn to upkeep that army. You know, shipping food ain't cheap, especially in the medieval period.
With honor,
But it looks like this force will be sufficient to take Canaveron.
Your will, sire, we shall engage.
2 rams,
Laying siege, noble sire.
because, you know, the enemy always burns the first one. And I don't know if we should build ladders or not. Might as well.
We
maintain
shall
the siege.
prevail in this siege, sire.
Alright. Henry's now 18, overseeing the rearming and retraining of these men up here in York. He's very dreaded. The people, he's a budding bureaucrat, seems quite capable at managing the affairs of a settlement, enough to entrust to govern efficiently. So, what the hell was that other guy's name?
Hail, my
Walter,
king.
so impressed by Henry's intelligence and ability to just quickly assess a situation, and is a harsh ruler. Jesus, this guy's a dick. He's like a regular Prince Joffrey. But nevertheless, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to run a town. He's not stupid. He's an asshole, just like his dad, but, you know, he knows what he's doing. Walter decided it was okay to leave York under the control of Henry. He has very capable men at his command, and his older brother, Prince Rufus, the Wrathful, is down here in Nottingham. In case things get too hairy, he can always back up his little brother. He's a night fighter now. He has a proper understanding of how to organize a large fighting force so that they will not flounder about ineffectively in the darkness. That's interesting. So, he's a night fighter. I want to know when in the world he learned how to do that. Down here in London, William the Conqueror living out the rest of his days in relative peace as his children spread English rule throughout the realm. Down here in France, Robert has built a nice force, a nice little empire of his own. Has he picked up any more traits? Farming knowledge. The man knows how to farm. He's overseen the establishment of several farming districts, so the man knows a thing or two about running a farm. He's very fair in rule. Still feels unappreciated, but he's building a nice name for himself down here in France. He's carved out some territory for his father, for the crown, for England. He's learning how to cultivate the land. He's pretty much coming into his own down here at age 30. So let's go ahead and end the turn. Diplomat looks like he moved on his own. I forgot to move him. A bride has been presented to Robert. Things are looking up. Katerina of Fairford. Ooh, that's a sexy name. We'll go ahead and accept that. Robert's now married at 30. At long last, Robert has finally found true love. Prince Rufus is now noble in rule. +2 to chivalry. Maybe word has reached him that people don't like him. So he's starting to be nice to people. No
Without
Polish has been found yet. Let's go down this way.
Tomorrow's journey planned out, sire.
Forgive me for not knowing exactly where the Polish are. They are sort of easily forgotten. Go ahead and build some communal farms in London. Should be ready by springtime. More food production means more food for the soldiers. We'll go ahead and build a priest as well to help keep our religious order up. I'm so happy for Robert. Let's take a look at our family tree now. Nobody's popping out kids yet. But now Prince Rufus really needs to start thinking about settling down and finding somebody. All of his brothers are married. His sister's married. He's the only one to not be married, and he is the heir. And he really needs to start thinking about finding a hoe to bring home so that he can keep his lineage going. Or else, not like it's a bad thing, but or else the crown will fall to one of his younger brothers. Dublin looks like Dublin's building up their forces as well. We'll go ahead and give Canaveron one more turn of siege, and we'll assault them in the spring. The French still milling about. The Scots are still sitting on their ass. Looks like things are looking up. We have 1,244 florins to work with. Let's look at Reims right now and think about what we can potentially do here to increase our fortunes. We need a spy, though, down here so we can see farther. So we'll go ahead and build a brothel to enable us to build a spy in the south. Con, can't really do much here. No point in recruiting anything else. Up here in London, can't build anything, can't build anything. Okay. Alright, so we need to wrap this video up, and the people of Conquerors need to learn the hard way that to say no to William is to invite death. Assaulting the town. 406 men under the command of Captain Mikel. Welsh longbowmen, a unit of peasants, and some Welsh spearmen. Ooh dear, they might have the range advantage on us as far as archers go. Saving the game now. And as I click this battle button, you click that like button down below. Show me some support, please.
England, men.
See all of our siege equipment laid out there and ready for us. Don't really care what our commander has to say. I love how they equip the archers with the fucking battering rams. Alright, so our peasant archers are pretty much going to be ineffective. The Welsh longbowmen have the range on them. Our unit of spearmen will rank up here. Our Welsh longbowmen, we'll label them Unit 2. Cavalry will hang out in the back. Right beside, whatever the hell this guy's name was, Walter, I believe it was. So this is not Walter's first command, but this is his first siege. And I don't want to do any unnecessary damage to the settlement. I don't want to break down the gates unless I absolutely have to. So we'll send the Welsh up to fight their countrymen. Some dissatisfied Welshmen, unhappy with whoever the lord of this settlement is, getting a measure of payback here. This is going to be difficult. Those guard towers have the potential to really do a lot of damage to my spearmen. As you can see, they're already suffering a lot of casualties. I should have put them in loose formation, didn't even think about that. There's a whole bunch of archers shooting the crap out of them. Wait, are they moving? No, there they are. They're all up here. Move the peasant archers up to provide some supporting fire. Move the general up because if the general's close to his soldiers, they do get a morale boost. Alright, so now my spearmen will move up to support them. Keep this unit of spearmen back here in case we do need to bust out the ram. Jesus. More archers now engaging. Thank God these guys are up armored with leather armor. The Welsh pretty much taking a beating from all these archers. They are steady though. So my peasant archers will engage this unit of Welsh longbowmen here. Try and do some damage. Alright, so it doesn't look like I'm going to need to bust out the ram. So we'll go ahead and get our men up here on these walls as fast as possible. The general will head over here. No, I'm not, because the first unit of Welsh is retreating. There's a lot of dudes up here. The Welsh victory seems certain. Only a fool could lose this battle. They are shaken though. Welsh's victory is certain for them. Victory is a distinct possibility. It's interesting. bust through here. Need to bust through and take out this, get these gates open. The archers, yeah, the archers are engaging my fucking general. All these guys gotta do here is hold. Doing some damage to these longbowmen up here, though. That's good news. All these spearmen gotta do is hold up here on the walls. All they gotta do until I can drive the enemy off the walls elsewhere.
Victory will be ours.
Victory is balance of forces, even defeat. It seems certain. Oh dear. Hopefully these peasant archers, their fire going in to these longbowmen over here. Hopefully that'll tip the balance.
Lord is with us today. We've captured the enemy's walls.
Excellent. General, move in. Peasants. Oh man, this is gonna be beautiful. Need to head over here and start to relieve the pressure on their countrymen. Move that unit of peasant spearmen over there to help with this this fight over here. The Welsh need to press on here. See the enemy's retreating. Yeah, the enemy's retreating off the walls. All right, that unit can go over here and assist the Welsh.
If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Yeah, here we go. All right, the walls have been taken. General has a lot. I don't want to have him
Only half the enemy
engage
force
spearmen.
remains.
Doing a lot of damage to those peasants, though. Get out of there, man! Oh, they managed to drag down one of the commander's knights. That's a shame. Nice short cavalry charge into this unit here. Head on against spearmen, though. Stupid idea. Get them out of there. Get the cavalry out of there. These spearmen need to come down off the walls. And the peasant archers can move up now. Once the walls are cleared for good, they can actually occupy the walls and rain arrows down into the center of town. How the heck? Why does the guard tower still belong to the rebels? Doesn't make any sense. That's all that remains of this rebel force, just hanging out in town there. You can see the commander there with them. So my spearmen are now moving in to engage. Yeah, the Welsh are pretty much done for here, but they were hired out. They weren't trained by the British, so as they throw themselves onto their countrymen's spears, the English now finally coming up behind them to finish off the last of those Welshmen over there. And they were brave. It's a shame that let's go ahead and just charge on in here. It's a shame that a deal couldn't be reached, and that these poor Welshmen had to die here today. We tried, oh how we tried to persuade them to join in the English Empire. It was for the benefit of all, to bring peace and prosperity to the realm, but you know, you just can't convince some people to look past their own greed, I guess. Too willing to hold on to their own lands and to too hell-bent on holding on to their own lands and, not worried
Lord
about the
have
greater
mercy,
good.
We've lost half of our men.
Yeah, we've lost half our men, that's to be expected. Cavalry's gonna circle around. Need to end this quickly before I lose more men. Spearmen on spearmen is never a good thing, and when the enemy is in the center of town like this, their morale can't be broken. They will fight to the last. So my spearmen are pretty much doing a fucking holding action here. I don't want to push my general in. My general will just they won't necessarily die, but going up against spearmen, I'm going to take some losses and potentially lose my commander.
By St. George,
Hey!
our men have slain the enemy general. Without him, his troops will lose their will
Well,
to
that's
fight.
good news. Enemy captain's dead. That'll give them a drop to their combat efficiency. Now the archers will finally. Usually I don't push in with the infantry until I have the archers already in place up on the walls, but in the interest of time, I decided to just go ahead and push on in with the spearmen. Alright, and game over, man. General's going to go ahead and sally forth. The cavalry is going to hit them in the rear and pretty much wipe them out. Move this unit of archers over here just because they're glitched out right now and they're not
The battle is very much in our
responding the
favor.
way they should.
If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
See, as you can see, the general, he lost I think 2, maybe 3 knights in that charge against the spearmen, and even though they are heavily armored warriors,
By St. George,
spears
our
are
men have
spears.
taken control of the castle.
And you can see Mr. William, or whatever his name is, right up there on the front lines. He's backing up now. He's taking some hits. His armor's dented and bloody. That's it. The last couple men getting hacked to pieces by these knights.
All of Christendom will be awed by the victory we have won here today.
Lost 330 men to that. But there's not a single enemy left under the command of Captain Mikkel. 330 men, not counting my guys, died this day. And for what? To hold on to their lord's greed?
By God's will, we have triumphed.
To pretty much
My lord,
ensure that their
our
lord
courage
holds
and
on to
honor
his
have
lands and
conquered.
his titles. It's a shame, really. So much innocent life lost. But Canaveron has been brought into the fold. Most of mainland England is now under the English flag. I have received some military units now. Walter of Bompton has now gained some dread. Can retrain some of these men. The Welsh spearmen can be retrained. The cavalry can be retrained. We'll go ahead and combine our forces here.
Orders. Sire.
Disband that unit. There's only 4 guys left in it. You see 4 units of mailed knights at the capital. That's pretty cool. Walter's got +1 chivalry. Doesn't make any damn sense. 4 units of cavalry arriving at the capital now. That's really cool. The king has a cavalry force to command in case anything is foolish enough to try to assault the gates of London. So unfortunately we're not going to be able to attack Dublin in this episode, because this episode is running pretty long. We'll go ahead and have Walter here build a watchtower. Or he can't build a watchtower. You know what? Shh. Oh, he can't do it.
Hail, my king.
Why can't he build a fucking watchtower?
Honor, sire.
Well, whatever. I added money. I used a cheat code. Whatever. I wanted to build a watchtower. Go ahead and use the money anyways. Don't tell anybody. As always, bringing peace and prosperity to the land. Farms and roads. Farms and roads. And down here, nothing much we can do. That's foreboding. Our profits left here at the end, 666 florins. So we'll go ahead and end the turn and see. Oh wait, our diplomat. We need to find the Polish.
Your orders, sire. Yes, sire.
Found a Polish army. That'll do.
Tomorrow's journey.
Make contact with
planned
him
out,
next
sire.
turn. French still milling about. Scots still sitting on their asses. Build a small church in York. We can do that.
You have something to discuss with us?
Trade rights, map information, map information.
Not a bad offer.
Cool.
We shall. Goodbye.
Alright, now we can see where they are on the map. And let's go find the Russians.
Without question, sire. Tomorrow's journey planned out, sire.
Claire. Somebody had a child. Who was it? Oh, young Henry. He's a 19-year-old father and he has a daughter. Claire, age 0. That's awesome. Age 0. The first birth of the family. William has his first grandchild, and it is a daughter, Claire, to his youngest son. That's beautiful. What a perfect note to end today's episode on. I'd like to thank you guys for taking your time out of your day to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I did making it and telling the tale of William the Conqueror and his family. His son, Rufus, falling from his father's favor, his ill temper, his odd beliefs, not holding true to what his father would want for someone from his family. Go ahead and move this priest over here into Canaveron. Not holding up to his father's standards of religious piety and beliefs. He's being left in Nottingham to oversee the recruitment of the Army of England to ensure that the homeland is defended and defended well, and to bring these city-states under the control of England. Young Henry, coming of age, we saw him come of age, get married, take his first command, and now have a child, bringing the first grandchild into the royal family. This man is full of so much promise, but also so much dread. He is a spitting image of his father. He is a harsh ruler, promising strategist, and he hates the damn Scots, but he knows how to run a town, and he is honest. So you can't fault the guy for, being who he is. He is being left up in the north to guard the borders against the Scots, and in time prepare for the invasion of Scotland. Walter, who married into the family, who married the king's daughter, he had the balls to request the king's daughter, the king's daughter's hand in marriage, and it paid off, he earning himself his command of Nottingham, and then York, and now Canaveron, overseeing the invasion and the siege of that city, and bringing it into the fold of the English Empire. He's fair in rule. He's easy to forgive crimes, not born of malice. He is very brave, and he cares more about winning than he does doing it honorably. The man wants results, and he knows how to get them. He is a longtime friend of the king. He's 52 years old. He's now married into his longtime friend's family. He's a brave, superstitious man, but he has royal ties, and he is religiously active, earning himself a place in the king's court. Robert down here in the south, carving out a name and an empire of his own. It looks like the Spanish have pushed up and taken this city down here. You can see there's an orange border So we have the Spanish here to our south. We need to build a diplomat. We need to hurry up with that brothel. What allows us to build a diplomat? I don't know. I need to build a chapel somewhere too. There we go. So anyways, Robert down here carving out a little small empire of his own in the name of his father. Taking reins against his father's wishes, but nevertheless bringing it into the fold of the English Empire. His recruitment here in Caen, making the French think twice about launching an invasion to bring England back under French rule, making it clear to the French that England is a sovereign state, that they are their own nation, under their own power, under their own leadership, and no French soldier will suffer, or they will not suffer any French soldier to enter their lands. They have a well-armored force, well-trained, and the time will soon be coming where Robert, newly married himself, will need to start thinking about making a family and making war. With that, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. Thank you guys for watching yet again. Give it a like down below if you liked it. Comment if you have a comment or a question for me. And hit me up. Gamertag Hotel Soap on Steam and Xbox 360. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.